Everybody in Nigeria is becoming security conscious. I repeat, everybody in Nigeria is becoming security conscious. Even vigilante don't fool everywhere. I repeat, vigilante don't fool everywhere. Arrest up and down, arrest up and down. Go on social media. You see that a lot of bandits, a lot of Fulani bandits have been arrested by people who volunteer themselves. Vigilante states are having their own state police in the form of vigilante. Tinubu gave the go-ahead. If you can afford it, you can have your own state police. So some states are trying to convert that state police to vigilante. And Enugu State, I read, gave their own vigilante correct gun, AK-47, that can face the bandit. Even though you are using juju, bandits can be anybody. In the southern part of Nigeria, bandits can be anybody. It can be Igbo, Hausa, Yoruba. So far you enter inside bush to kidnap and take hostage and kill people, you are a bandit. So we are not saying because of it is Fulani. Because Fulani, now them introduce all this kind of rubbish for southern Nigeria. Even some villagers, some indigenous are getting involved in kidnapping, hostage taking, and banditry. They learned it from these Fulanis. So in southern Nigeria here, we are not saying we are against Fulani. If you are Fulani and you want to come to southern Nigeria and do your business like every normal person. Don't come into southwest and enter bush. What are you entering bush to do? Are you a wild animal? If the hunters, because we have hunters now, we are hunting for wild animals. If the hunters enter bush and they see a wild animal, they don't know whether the wild animal is wearing buba or cap or whatever it is. They will gun down the wild animal because they are a threat. So it is only wild animal that stays in the forest. You need to come out with your cows and whatever you have. Come into where people can monitor you. There's surveillance going on. People are volunteering themselves. Villages and communities, they are entering their bush to survey everybody. I just noticed that as Tinubu's restructuring Nigeria's security architecture and removing bandits from his government, the attacks don't they reduce. Now Matawale, 9 remain. Matawale, 9 remain. A lot of progress has been made from arresting bandits at the local level and handing them over to DSS. You know, sometimes we suggest that if you catch these bandits that have been killing people in your community, send them to God. Instead of sending them to the DSS or the police, send them to God. It is madness used to cure madness. And Alpha said something that if you catch a terrorist and you give them amnesty, you are promoting the activities of terrorism in that community, in that system. So if you catch a terrorist, you use terrorism to judge terrorism. You don't dialogue. You don't give them soft landing. No amnesty for terrorists. No amnesty for terrorists at all. So since Tinubu began his restructuring from the federal level, you see, it is a tough job that Tinubu is doing as a president. It is a tough job. If you know what that guy is facing, if you know the compromise that Tinubu has entered, you see how those people waiting for there, those northerners, they are just watching him. Okay, you are displacing us, Abi. You are trying to remove us from the power structure and the power play. You are dismantling our cabals, Abi. We are waiting. Any opportunity we have, we'll use and strike you. Some people even, they are praying for Tinubu to die. In northern Nigeria, their prayer is for Tinubu to die. Because of what Tinubu is doing, what he's facing, my brother, that is why I'm supporting him. I'm not supporting Tinubu and the APC for good governance because for me personally, I cannot influence you or force you to believe what I'm saying. I'm just giving you my opinion on matters. Yeah, it is left for you to take the ones you can take. You can't take everything I'm saying. But for Tinubu to give you good governance, I know stand for that. APC is in a deep structural mess. They cannot fix anything except the restructure. That is why when it comes to good governance, forget good governance. Anything they give you now, propaganda. For those that think that Tinubu can deliver good governance. But for this restructuring, we stand here. We stand here. There was an incident in northern Nigeria where they said people that are sponsoring terrorism were arrested. I saw this information. Let me read it. 3 suspected bandit financiers arrested. This is from a northern blog. Now, 4 rustled cows recovered in Sokoto. Let me read it out so that you can understand the story. So, at the local level, sponsors of terrorism have been arrested. It remained the ones at the high level One thing I don't like is the fact that they are saying that we will not try the terrorist sponsors in public. That's what I don't like about this elite class. These guys at the top, because they are living their life as if they are in secret court. Nigerians, we are serving Nigerians. We want them publicly prosecuted. Let's know their face and name and shame them. But because of they belong to secret court, they be running their thing themselves. So at the local level, police in Sokoto State have arrested 3 suspected financiers and informants of bandit gangs, including one Ruwa Ginyo, the Fulani head of Gidamadi in Tangaza local government. Fulani head. Leadership structure in those areas. In Sokoto, northern Nigeria, the seat of the caliphate, leadership structures at the local level are financing terrorism. Then if the ones at the local level are financing terrorism and the Sultan of Sokoto cannot be able to purge all those guys in his own domain, what can you say about those ones at the top? Because I've told you that insecurity can never survive except the hands of politicians are in it. Do you know what it means to finance insecurity? Shey na person will never chop. Person they collect 70,000 minimum wage. Now one go to do insecurity. Now one go to buy AK-47, buy bullets, stay for bush. I hear that if they are initiating bandits, they give their family millions of naira to enter banditry. Say now ordinary person go call it. It is politicians that are sponsoring banditry. So this Fulani head of Tangaza local government area has been arrested. The suspect reportedly broker for the Lakurawa bandits. Lakurawa. The only thing Northern Nigeria can give to the Nigerian state is insecurity and terrorism. That is what they can contribute. They have been in power for many years. We have not seen the benefit of them being leaders, presidents in Nigeria. I have not seen it. You have seen it at a smaller scale, but me, at a larger scale, I have not seen it. Look at this Southern president. Look at what he did. Just watch all the Southern presidents that we have had and see how they tried. If not for even the North that is even trying to sabotage a Southern government, a Southern presidency. The Southern presidents will have done a lot. But yet, what they contribute to us is by creating more terrorist groups. This one and Lakurawa bandits were apprehended on December 3rd at about 2 p.m. while attempting to sell 4 roasted cows to unsuspecting buyers. Bandits go for person farm, go steal the person cow. When they steal cow, they call it rosu. You go steal the cow. If you are stealing the cow, you convert it to money. So the people that will help them convert the stolen cow to money, they are in the leadership position of those communities. The leaders there. There was a particular bandit that was a terrorist. Somebody said I should be calling terrorist. We know that bandit, we can identify them by bandit, but the bandits there, they are terrorists. A particular terrorist wanted. A traditional ruler gave the terrorists a traditional title in a big ceremony. Police did deal. Police declare somebody wanted, but the person is celebrating a title given to him by a traditional ruler in the community that they used to terrorize, and the police is there in that ceremony. And the police were waiting for us to say, see the person when I declare wanted before they now arrest the person. You can see, sit down and think about all these things. The complicity of these guys in this terrorism. So a Fulani head, a leader, is now selling cow to finance bandits. Okay? Interrogation revealed that the suspect facilitated the sale of stolen cattle and remitted the proceeds to the bandits. All suspects have confessed to their involvement in the crime, and investigations are ongoing to track further links and recover additional stolen property. So at the local level, these guys are being arrested. It remains international level. Just wait. Before the end of this year, or by the first quarter of next year, you see a lot of resignation going on. Tinubu is under pressure. And one of the persons that there's a lot of pressure on him is Matawale. Because this guy is the link to the bandits and we that are Nigerians that want Nigeria to work. Like I told you, Nigeria for work, if for good make Nigeria work, stay together as one, united. But the problem is this Fulani at the agenda. They just use their agenda, spoil everything. And they have shown that they will never repent. They have shown that it is in their DNA to cause trouble for other tribes in Nigeria. That is why we want to restructure and reorganize ourselves. Then if the Yorubas, if the Southwest wants to have alliance with the Fulani, they should do after restructuring. If the Igbos want to do, they should do. So that it will be with your clear eye. You know that these guys are this. Then because as a country, we need to be together. As a nation, you know, European Union, they fight as a bloc. That European Union is a platform they use to play politics, geopolitics. So in Africa, we need such in Africa, the African Union. So in fact, we need a bigger coalition of countries in Africa to unite. But first, let's get rid of the Fulani menace in this, according to Chief Awolowo, this mere geographical expression. Let's get rid of it. Then we can talk about aligning, because you cannot run it on your own. If the Southwest say, we have the best region, we are this and that. If there's any kind of thing that happens and you want to go on your own, you see, the enemy will circle you individually and attack you. But when we are together, we have a lot of steam, a lot of power to resist any enemy. But for now, restructuring Nigeria, we need to restructure the Fulani out of our system. So I love the way people are taking responsibility on themselves to make sure that their environment is safe. They enter, the Fulani are afraid. You can see if you see any insecurity now for their side, maybe for their side. There's one thing that happened in Plateau State, and the Hausa Fulani are complaining. I don't know what is going on. No, I don't know the injustice that the Fulani is saying is going on in Plateau State, because as you look at it, Plateau government commences batch training of Operation Rainbow operatives. Let me read this out. The Plateau State government has resumed the training of recruits under its community-based security outfit. Like I told you, everybody is having to manage their security. Operation Rainbow, as part of ongoing efforts to strengthen grassroots security across all 17 local government areas of the state. The initiative is part of the government's plan to recruit and train more than 1,400 local security operatives who will support intelligence gathering, community protection, and rapid response to emerging threats. So if the Fulani infiltrate the police and other security whatever, we also have a security outfit that can assist the police and stop the effectiveness of these people sabotaging the efforts of the Nigerian security infrastructure. So there is a concern here. Some Hausa and Fulani people are complaining that they are being excluded, that Muslims are being excluded in this outfit. How would they trust the Fulani when anytime we talk about insecurity in northern Nigeria, it is always shared by the Fulani, it is always defended by the Fulani, no matter what level? We know that some Fulani are victims of the violence going on in northern Nigeria. Some Fulani are victims. But looking at a broader picture, the Fulani are the ones having the agenda, and the Fulani top politicians are the ones defending the same Fulani. A particular Arewa Consultative Forum leader came out to say that they should have amnesty for the bandits and terrorists. They should have amnesty for people. They are not, you see, when they make the argument, they don't argue on behalf of the victims. They are always defending the perpetrators of the crime. Psychology tells you that these people support the actions. They don't argue on behalf of the victims. Gumi mentioned them. They don't argue on behalf of the victims. When people are being killed, they don't raise their voice. They don't come out and start advocating. Why are you killing? They don't even put much pressure. But because there's a United States intervention and it's going to affect them somehow, they are not coming out to shout. Why didn't they use the same strength to speak against their brothers for killing people in their farms without provocation, coming to their farms to destroy their crops without provocation because they are looking for something? Why didn't they use that strength to hold their brothers responsible? But now they are coming to gaslight everybody. Hey, now this Hausa Fulani in Plateau State are saying that we are part of Plateau. Why don't you get us involved? There's a reason for that. I am not saying that I know the reasons why they do or the accusations are true, but you see, the sentiment is that the Fulani, in whichever way, they have given the Fulani time to negotiate In the southeast, we negotiate with former header. We negotiate like 3 or 4 times, but yeah, they keep on killing. In the southwest, they negotiate, they keep on killing. How many times they don't negotiate peace deal in Middle Belt? Even the Fulanis were even threatening. So any security outfit, we don't want any infiltration. You can infiltrate the Nigerian army, you can infiltrate the Nigerian police, but that security outfit, it is indigenous. And I don't know if you are indigenous to Plateau State, because we know what the Fulani can do. Some villages, they will come to the village, they will clear, they go start killing. Everybody go run away from that village. They go enter the village, occupy the village, rename the village. So in years to come, they will say we are indigens. They will hide the history of them killing people and sending them away. Yes. So we understand what is going on. The indigens want to be part of that security outfit, not for Fulanis. I don't know about Hausas. It's about time Hausas themselves liberate themselves. We're not going to tell the Hausas what to do. But if we restructure some part of Nigeria, if the southern part of Nigeria is restructured, if the Nubians take it upon themselves to restructure themselves, then the Hausa will do the needful. They are waiting for everybody to restructure. They will do the needful. Now, let me not even talk. There's a politics that is coming on. 2027. Tinubu is winning the war against these guys. And it's a silent war. Everybody, bit by bit, is taking them away from position. Bit by bit. This month, next 2 months, next 3 months. Critical people, take them away. That will stop his restructuring. Then if he achieves it, okay. The next thing for the Fulani is to fight Tinubu politically. That is what they are going to do next. I'm not prophesying, I'm seeing it happening. So most people now will be decamping to the ADC. If the ADC is fully formed, the Fulani and those sympathetic to the agenda of Uthman Danfodio and the bandits and terrorists, you see them, most of them will even leave the current APC and be joined. There's a report I saw. It is through this report I'm now speculating. I know they do magic. I know they say anything. I don't know everything. What I'm saying is somehow something just come to pass because I look at a trend and I speculate. So I'm speculating. 2 Zamfara State Assembly members resign from APC. Guess the party they're going to enter? The ADC. I told you that the Fulani coalition, I call the ADC Fulani coalition. I pity for P2B because if you enter that coalition, you don't murder. Let me not even talk about P2B. Fulani coalition. So most of them will be waiting for the ADC to constitute itself, fortify itself, rearrange itself. Then they will start joining. They will use through ADC and fight a Bola Ahmed Tinubu. That will be the last kick of the dying horse from the Fulani. But you know one thing, like I said before, the kind of votes that will come from southern Nigeria, oh God. The North can have more votes than southern Nigeria, but the kind of votes that will come out from southern Nigeria, it never come out like that before. Both people will say they don't come out of their house vote. You'll be surprised say their votes be counted. They did. It's like you don't know how politics being played in Nigeria. Not that I support that brand of politics. I'm telling you what is going on, what is happening. I will not lie to myself. These are the things that will play on. So I'm trying to come out to tell you this is this, that is that, so that you as opposition, you can now plan yourself. Okay, we know that this is likely to happen. What should we do as ADC or as Labour Party, as PDP, to be able to counter the intention of the APC to rig elections? I told you that the APC is not interested in free and fair election. There's nowhere in their book that you see free. They're not even they're not even interested in anything like that. So politically, this Fulani will have to join the ADC and fight Tinubu, but they will fall Yakata. And when Tinubu defeats the Fulani, most of them, they are the arrowheads of that ADC coalition. That is when their career go down the end. If Tinubu does another 4 years, and he installs somebody, if he has not restructured Nigeria then, like to a satisfiable point, and he installs somebody, the career of those guys will have finished. Those ones that are joining, just watch their face. Look at their face. Pantami, Borotai, Malami, Erufai, Atiku. Look their face very well. As they join the APC, as they are in ADC, and as men that will join them, just know that their career for Nigerian politics, they can They can have the popularity in the northern or their village or whatever it is. Their sentiment, they can push their sentiment in northern Nigeria. But for Nigerian politics, they will not be versatile. That's the reality. Okay. So these Muslims in Plateau State, like I said, this is the report. Muslims in Plateau State are calling for fairness and justice. The Plateau State government has recruited about 1,500 youths into Operation Rainbow, a security initiative designed to work under the supervision of the military and police by providing intelligence and identifying criminal elements within communities. However, Muslims in Plateau State have expressed concern that not a single Muslim or any Hausa or Fulani youth, this person pushing this agenda, this narrative, is a Fulani. Look at his statement. However, Muslims use Muslims agenda in Plateau State have expressed concern that not a single Muslim, then he now had to open his nyash, nor any Hausa or Fulani youth. So the real thing is they refuse to bring in this Fulani and Hausa because they don't trust them. They might be infiltrators. Because in fact, the reasons why they are even protecting themselves is because of their people. So why would they have them in their own security? That is the reason why they may be doing so. But this one is saying using Muslim to cover. No, it is not Muslim. It is Muslim, it's Fulani, Hausa and Fulani youth. They were excluded in the recruitment. They fear that this lack of representation may lead to injustice. He's saying those Hausa and Fulani in Plateau State, they are afraid that this lack of representation may lead to injustice, especially in a state that was with a sensitive religious and ethnic balance. Many believe that an inclusive recruitment process would help strengthen trust, English, promote unity, English, and ensure that both Muslim and Christian communities feel equally protected and fairly represented. Now, the game is on. Everybody is becoming so alert. Things are happening. You see, by the end of this week, you will hear another wonderful news. Another wonderful report. You will hear. The Fulani is in trouble. Oh. Didn't when they pay me say, like say they will say, okay, let's stop this agenda. No. It is their DNA, they are wired, it's their destiny. They are destined to achieve it. That's right, that's the problem. So we cannot help it than to restructure Nigeria, make sure that the Fulani, their influence is we God help Nigerians.